This video is sponsored by Card Kingdom. If you click on the link in the description below, it'll take you to their store and they'll know I sent you there. Alright, before we jump into another Strixhaven draft, I want to remind everyone that my content is sponsored by Card Kingdom. You can visit their store by clicking on the link in the description below on YouTube or the logo below on Twitch. If you do, it'll use my referral link. Check them out and get Strixhaven and, everything else. Ooh, I haven't gotten to play multiple choice yet, and I'm excited to. It's really good. If you pay 4 for it, it's like crazy. And then it has the added flexibility of doing other stuff if you're mana screwed. Mage Hunter's Onslaught and Combat Professor are both quite good too. Those are the... and maybe Inkling Summoning too. Those are the cards I would consider first picking. But we're going to take multiple choice here. So far, I think I like Strixhaven Limited more, but keep in mind I drafted Kaldheim almost 60 times. So it's hard to say whether I'll feel the same way about Strixhaven once I've drafted it 60 times. But I do like it more right now. Oh, what? We just got past Mila / Luca. Okay, that's what we take. What would they have taken over it? I guess maybe a Wrath or something, because the Mystical Archive card is gone. But yeah, this is definitely what we take. It's really strong. If we can only play the Mila half or just the Luca half, it's still a good card. It's great if you can do both. And multiple choice is splashable, so we don't necessarily have to lose our multiple choice. There must have been there are only a few cards I would take over this in the archive, and I think I would take the Day of Judgment and Crux of Fate over it. There might be another one I'm not remembering, but I wouldn't take like Swords over it. I wouldn't take I can't think of another card that I would consider. So the average win rate for people is about 50%. So 60% is generally considered to be like high. And that's usually what I aim for. So I don't think I'd take Time Warp over Mila either. I think people really overrate that effect. It's really good. It's like a B+, but I don't think it's an A like Mila / Luca is. Combat Professor is great. I think that's what we'll take here. Yeah. That's where we're going. Cultivator's not bad. I mean, if we ended up in that deck, we could definitely consider doing that. But I think Combat Professor is just better than the Cultivator. They're comparable at least, and this can really only be played in a 2-color deck, and Combat Professor can be played in a couple different decks. Okay, well, there's Decisive Denial is what I'm trying to say here, and that's really good. But I think we take another Combat Professor. It's great, so I think I'm pretty happy with that. I mean, I guess I could see maybe thinking Time Warp is a little better than these, so that could be it, but I think Crux and Day of Judgment are the only 2 cards that are like Windmill Slam first picks over this. Like even, Natural Order is cool, but it's so hard to build around that, it's not super hard to build around, but it's not easy to build around. So, yeah. Okay, so we haven't really locked in on a second color yet. We're probably just going to take Mage Hunter's Onslaught here. There aren't good white cards here. There's no mono white cards here. So I think we take Mage Hunter's Onslaught. It's a good removal spell. I like Humiliate a reasonable amount, but I think Onslaught's better. It does kill things, so... Yeah, sometimes what Time Warp is basically 5 mana to draw a card and play another land. Which, that's like the fail case for it, and that's a pretty good fail case, but it does that more often than you'd think. So, I think we grab another Onslaught here. A couple of good black-white cards here if we ended up in that neighborhood, but Onslaught's really good, so we're going to take it. So, it's kind of looking like we might be black-white, which is what happened to me last time I played Mila. But, we'll see. Okay, so Academic Probation is a pretty good lesson. Guiding Voice is a great card to learn. Laurel Pledge Mage isn't bad. It's better than not bad. It's a good aggressive creature. I don't know. I've had Guiding Voice be really good, and while I like Probation, having ways to learn is, you know, you need those to get your lessons in the first place. So I think I'm going to take Guiding Voice here. Oh yeah, we're looking. I think Black-White's looking very likely as where we go. We do want to pick up some fixing if we can for multiple choice. Spirit Summoning is not a bad lesson. Neither is Dueling Coach isn't bad either, but I think we just grab another Guiding Voice here. Okay, so we're looking at either the Luminancer, which can be quite good in a deck with a bunch of cheap spells like Guiding Voice, or Pilgrim of the Ages, which is, it's a less aggressive card, but it's pretty good. I think I'd probably take Luminancer here, though. It's been pretty nice in these like all-in Black-White decks. I'm still not necessarily locked in on Black-White. We could also be a Black-Red aggro deck, and if we were, you know, that would mean we could play Luca, so that's cool. All right, here we'll take the Shield Mage. I've liked having this at the top of the curve in these Black-White decks. You know, it's not the most efficient creature ever, but it punishes your opponent no matter what, and that's a pretty big deal. So, almost no matter what, you know. But the idea is that you've attacked them down to like 7 by the time you play it, and they're like, crap. No matter what I do here, I'm going to 4. So, okay, so I think I'll take Fixing here. I'm not really sure where we're going to end up. If we end up in Red-White, we'll play Lorehold Campus. The card, you know, Essence Infusion is okay, but I don't think good enough to take right now. You know, it is a little better in a deck that's super aggressive, but I still think we take the Fixing here and see what happens. So Cram Session, if you're the aggro deck, is not the best way to learn. Stonebound Mentor will be good if we're in Red-White. So I think I'm leaning in the direction of the Mentor here. Wow, Humiliate came back. I like it a lot, so I'm going to take it here over these two. You know, it's a discard spell that does something all game thanks to the counter. I'll take an Elocution late, too. Black-White looks pretty open. So it is kind of worth going with Red-White, but we shouldn't really force it. You know, if we pick up enough Fixing, like if we have a couple sources of red, occasionally we'll be able to play the Luca half, which is cool, but if that's not going to work out, it's not a big deal. Okay, so we've got Semester's End here. It hasn't been that impressive to me overall. It's tricky to make work, and we don't have any Enter the Battlefield abilities to abuse at this point. So, yeah. Probably just going to take a Pillar Drop Rescuer, I guess. There's not Fixing in this pack that helps us very much in terms of playing multiple choice. Yeah, we'll take a Rescuer here. So Pilgrim of the Ages is nice. Pest Summoning is a pretty nice lesson. There's also a Hunt for Specimens here. Tainted Pack, not really what you want in Limited. This pack is really strong for us. It's also got an Orator. We've got the Thunderous Orator, Pilgrim of the Ages, and Hunt for Specimens, and not to mention the Shield Mage and Pest Summoning. So we've got all kinds of stuff in here that we'd like. Right now we don't actually have any lessons, and that does matter for like Hunt. We're going to end up with some, but it does matter that we don't have them right now. I think I'm going to take the Orator. I think it's a nice 2-drop. It's going to gain keyword abilities and stuff, theoretically, in this deck. Okay, so I'm probably going to take Pest Summoning here. Rise of Exodus is good, but in general, but it's not as good if we're a Black-White aggro deck, and that does feel like where we are. Pledge Mage isn't bad either, but this is a really good lesson, and I think it's time to grab one. I think I overrated more cards in this set than I have in maybe any set review. Like that, the 1-mana 1/1 dog I thought was going to be way easier to make do stuff, and it's just not. So it's been pretty disappointing. Like pretty close to an F. It's kind of a build around C+ probably, but it's been really underwhelming. So I think I like the first year a little more than Spectre. It likes our Guiding Voices and stuff. I kind of forgot we have those, and I've been saying I don't have any Learn yet, and I am wrong. So probably would have made some slightly different decisions if I was, intelligent. Okay, I mean, I like Defiant Strike in this kind of deck. It's probably what I'm going to take here over a Stonerise Spirit or a Letter of Acceptance. The Letter would help us splash multiple choice, but I'm not sure I love putting it in this deck in general. We'll take Defiant Strike here. Also increase our chances of playing Luca, I guess. But I feel like if I really want one, I'll be able to get one, you know? There's another Guiding Voice. Also another Mage Hunter's Onslaught. And a Star Pupil. Can I have them all? Can I just have all three of these? I'm interested in another Guiding Voice here, I think, over a third Mage Hunter's Onslaught. As much as I like the Onslaught, Guiding Voice has been a pretty key card in most of my black-white aggro decks. You know, it just ends up giving you a ton of value for 1 mana. Okay, so we have a pretty good card here if we were a red-white aggro deck, but we're not. We've also got a Frost Trickster, which is something we could consider splashing, but I don't love. I may just take Campus Guide here. It's an okay 2-drop, helps us with fixing a little, and we want 2-drops in this deck. So it really might make the cut between our need for fixing and the need for aggressive creatures. We're going to go there. Okay, so Confront the Past is not a great lesson just because it's only, you know, you almost never wish for it because you either need to have a Planeswalker yourself, which I guess we do, or you need your opponent to have one. But I don't think it's good enough to consider just because we have Luca. You know, it's going to be a dead card too often. I think I'd rather just take the Star Pupil here. It's good with all our Guiding Voices and stuff. Okay, so we'll take Semester's End here. It might make the cut. It also might not, but it's there. So I think I want Pilgrim more than another Owlin Shield Mage. Yeah, let's go with the Pilgrim here. Making us hit our land drops is nice. So here's this card I was talking about that I underrated. It's probably what we take here because it's on color, and maybe we end up having enough ways to trigger it that we want it, but I kind of doubt it. Okay, so we'll take another Lorehold land. Maybe we'll open up like Velomachus in this last pack or something and be able to splash it. I don't know. Okay, so do we consider Letter of Acceptance here over a 2-drop? We don't have that many 2-drops, so I kind of feel inclined to take Stonerise here. I guess we'll just take the white card, because why not? Red-white seems like it may be the most open. Okay, so Vanishing Verse is a great removal spell. And while I like the Luminancer, I think Vanishing Verse is good enough that we just take it. I mean, 2 mana to kill a lot of things is really good. So we're going to take it here. Deck's looking like an aggro deck, that's for sure. Which is kind of not the place you want a Semester's End to be. But we'll see. Oh, boy. We got Poet's Quill. I haven't got to play with this yet. It's beaten me several times, though, and it's a great learn card. We do right now only have 1 lesson to get, so that is something to focus in on a little bit in this last pack. But yeah, we're going to get Poet's Quill, and we need to start valuing lessons pretty highly because we need, you know, we have, what, 4 cards with learn and 1 lesson right now, and that's not optimal. But it's really good. This is another, you know, all of these rare learn cards, like this whole cycle of rare learn cards, all of it is great because they're all good even if they didn't have learn, and that's really nice, you know. So there's not a lesson here, huh? So the question is whether I want an aggressive little creature like these guys, you know, Eager First Year, Star Pupil, Pledge Mage, or an Inkcaster who will do some stuff. I kind of feel like our curve is, maybe we want our curve to be so low that the Inkcaster's not great, and maybe we just rather have the Pledge Mage who's going to be good with all our stuff. We'd have a lot of counters, though, and this is not a bad top curve. I think we go with the Inkcaster here. Oh, there is a lesson, you're right. Do we want to value that lesson more highly? No. As much as I like that lesson, I don't think we wanted to take it there. So our lesson in this pack we can't pay. We may end up regretting passing lessons. We'll see. So Divine Gambit's not bad in a non-aggro deck, but we are an aggro deck. I think I'm going to take Leech Fanatic here over Mage Hunter. It's a good place to put counters and stuff. Yeah, I mean, I may end up really regretting passing the lesson that I did. Oh, we have one here. I like Dueling Coach, but I think we're desperate enough for lessons that we just snag the Spirit Summoning. Okay, well, it's working out okay. We get an Inkling Summoning here. Alright, so Arrogant Poet is a nice 2-drop. Beaming Defiance is a nice trick. I think I like the Poet a little more, though. I think this deck is going to turn out pretty good. I don't think we're going to be able to play multiple choice, sadly, but that's not the end of the world. Should we just run 2 Lorehold campuses in case we find a way to play Luca? We could get a 3rd one here, but with the number of 1-drops we have, I'm not sure how much we want tap lands. I'm going to take Arrogant Poet here. Yeah, Learn Lessons is cool. We don't want Semesters in, I don't think. So the Luminancer came all the way back, and I think it's going to be pretty good the way our deck looks. So I think we take it over these guys. Wow, Dueling Coach and Star Pupil came back. We're going to have a critical mass of counters, so I'm going to be glad I took that. Yeah, I think we take Dueling Coach over Star Pupil here. I want all 3 of these creatures, although I don't really have room for them, I guess. I'm going to go with Pledge Mage here. We don't have one yet, and it's going to be pretty good with all of our cheap spells and stuff. Alright, so let's grab this Divine Gambit. We're not going to play it, but, you know. We're not going to probably play Exhilarating Elocution. It's just too finicky for me to want most of the time. We're not going to need this Campus Guide either. Another Dueling Coach. I do think I like it a little more than Spiteful Squad, the way our deck has panned out. So, you know, we're mostly an aggro deck, and then in the late game we can do +1/+1 counter stuff to close it out, to make our creatures continue to be relevant. We've got a very aggressive curve. Hey, I don't even hate that late Beaming Defiance. I'm not sure we're going to have room for it, but we had, you know, yeah. We have a very aggressive curve. We could consider just going all in on aggro here and, like, dropping most of the top curve. We're pretty all in on aggro already, so how many things do we have to trigger the Familiar? I don't think enough. So we've got the Stonerise Spirit, which is kind of on the chopping block itself. You know, it's not great. Yeah, so I think we probably cut the Familiar. Our Vanishing Verse would trigger it, so that's kind of cool, I guess. But still, I think we drop the Familiar and a Stonerise Spirit. That's where we're starting anyway. I think maybe 2 Dueling Coaches is too many. Even with the number of things we have with counters, like, it worries me a little bit. It's not in terms of our curve. I do think the Rescuer is better than the Shield Mage in terms of 5s, but I really could consider literally just cutting all 3 of these, and I don't think that's a terrible plan. I think we have a really good curve in the early game. I think we're going to really run people over, and we have a late game plan, even if we cut these, although we do have less of one, I suppose, because our best late game plan is going to be, you know, these. Like, Tenured Inkcaster can really finish people off. The Shield Mage can too. And the Rescuer also gives you a late game plan, but I still might just cut them. Pilgrim of the Ages isn't the most aggressive card either, I could see. And if we do, we can go to 16 lands, even in this format. And you don't do it a lot, but I think I would consider it. Like, I really think maybe This is where we want to be. It's it's very all in on aggro. Maybe I run one Dueling Coach and one Inkcaster. Or Pillar Drop Rescuer. I think Inkcaster seems pretty good. We should have a lot of counters. Yeah. That might be a little better, but I think we can still go to 16 lands here. All our ones are white mana, so that's worth keeping in mind, but I think we're going to need black enough that we go 8 and 8. Yeah. This looks interesting, that's for sure. We ended up with what, 3 lessons? Yeah, which is enough, but we do have 4 cards with learn, so we may find ourselves rummaging. Okay. All in on aggro. Let's run over some people trying to play dirtily decks. That's the plan. You know, cutting most of the top curve. It'll be interesting to see whether that was wise. But our deck is really streamlined, and I like that. Of course, then we get a hand like this, though, where we desperately need a swamp. We do have a way to draw a card. Like, this cycles, if nothing else, and if we do draw a swamp, we're kind of in business. But we probably still need to mulligan this thing. Having a card with cycling effectively does really make me consider keeping this. And I think we can mulligan, though. Oh my goodness. Okay, this is a lot better, even though it, at first, doesn't look so good. If we're slow drawing white mana, Humiliate is not going to be worth it. I think we probably just lose it. Guiding Voice will do a little more for us in the later part of the game. Those are both pretty ugly hands, unfortunately. We don't have the most amazing mana base ever at 8 and 8, but it's not so bad that we should have had 2 hands like this, you know? So... Okay. I'm guessing they're going to take our Onslaught here. Because we can almost cast it. Unlike the other things. Okay. Ouch. No thank you. So Well, it's kind of looking like our earlier drafts of the day, isn't it? Right, so we're going to attack, pay 2. Hey, look at that. Yeah, let's play a Combat Professor here. Give this a boost. And we're going to attack with it. And we're not going to give it flying. There's no reason to. Sagas are cool. I'm definitely with you there. We do have them down to 12. Despite all of our mana problems. So that's promising. Okay, so you're going to gain flying. Alright, so I think we just Mage Hunter's Onslaught one of these Spectres. I think we just give this the boost and attack with it. Oop, you're not attacking. I guess because they were going to lose life, it could have been worth going harder there than we did. Okay, so do we just kill the flyer and attack here? I think that's probably the plan. Does mean they're dead in the air next turn if we're able to make this go the way we want it to. So they go to 4 here. If they don't have something, they do have something. That does buy them significant time. Okay. I can Guiding Voice and get an Inkling, and I think that seems pretty good here. Yeah, I think getting the flyer is better. I mean, it's not a good game yet. I'm really surprised we managed to muster the amount of damage we did despite our mana problems. Our opponent didn't have a good, very good draw, it seems like. And yet again, I've forgotten to change my scene. I'm a pro, man. I'm a pro. All right. So we are now 1-0. We started every draft today 1-0. Our first 2 went 1-0, and then we lost the next 3. So hopefully we're not just doing it again. Let's hope. I don't have to change my scene, but this scene is better for the game, because for when I'm playing the actual game, because it obscures less. So I don't have to do it, but I think it's better. Like where I had the camera on the other scene is good for draft, but not so good for the games. You can't see my graveyard at all, for example. It's a pretty good hand. Like turn 1 star people, turn 2 eager first year into like Humiliate plus Defiant Strike. Sounds pretty good. Alright, well, because we have Beaming Defiance now, I think we attack first. I mean, I guess that's what we would have done either way. Then we'll play our eager first year. We can do all kinds of stuff right here. Oh boy, yeah, that's really good. Oh, I actually can't, because I don't have double white. I can't do as much as I would like, that's for sure. So we probably just attack here. If they decide to take both of them, then I humiliate them in the second main phase. Yeah, whichever one they block, I use Beaming Defiance on, so... Yeah, so we're gonna go Beaming Defiance. Still only 1 white mana. I think that means we play our Combat Professor here. Give this the boost. If they want to trade for it, they can. I think our Combat Professor is dead. Yes, indeed. The 1 white mana is killing me, but maybe I just humiliate here. Yeah, let's humiliate. Get rid of that Rise of Extus. Put a counter on our pupil. Attack for 2. We can, of course, Faithless Looting again here if they want to. Oh, man. That off the top is pretty rough. Okay, so I think we play Combat Professor here. Next turn we can... yeah, so I think we If I take this turn to play the Luminancer, I can set up some nice stuff with prowess, super prowess, next turn. Although nothing great, because I still only have 1 white mana, so... But yeah, let's put the boost there, attack with our Combat Professor. And yeah, let's play the Luminancer. And the Swamp. Alright, so I think I go to combat here. Yeah, we're gonna go to combat here. Attack with both. And use Defiant Strike if the situation... Oh, I screwed that up. No, I didn't. Yeah, you'll still have 3 power. Yeah, that's what I wanted to do. Attack with both. We're gonna use Defiant Strike on the Luminancer. I might kill it in response, but that's not the worst thing ever. I mean, wouldn't love it, but... Alright. Attack them down to 8. We're gonna get their 3-2. So, you know, like I said, our mana's not great, so this is kind of thing's gonna happen to us. But yeah, we just take... Interesting. Yeah, I think I just take 6 here. Okay, so... Yeah, so I think we want a Guiding Voice here because it lets us grab a creature token generator. I'm trying to decide if I want to put it on the Luminancer. Probably not. I probably just want to go all in on the Owl here. The Luminancer can still attack, actually. Especially after I get the Inkling summoning, so I think it works out. And then we attack with both. They have to block the Luminancer, one way or another. So... Yeah, you only need to double block. Alright, can we get there this turn? And the other question is, can they get there this turn? They might be able to. We do know one of the cards in their hand is a Plains, but they also have Faithless Looting, which does use up 3/5 of their mana. I guess it's only half in the end because they have Plains. If they wanted to play it first anyway. But it could help them find what they need, potentially. That does give them something else that can block. So we know they don't have any tricks now. So we would definitely be blocking there. Okay, awesome. So we're going to Vanishing Verse the Professor here. This should pretty much do it. I mean, it's not going to completely do it. However, it's going to put them in pretty bad shape here. So... Guiding Voice on our Inkling. And we'll grab a Pest Summoning. And then... You're going to be the better blocker, as usual, so... So they have to block... Yeah, they have to block the Combat Professor and go to 1 here. Yeah, they can do that. Sure. Still puts us in great shape. So they're going to go for the looting and try to find something to do with their mana. Yeah. This is pretty good. We haven't seen our Poet's Quill yet, and that's going to be pretty nice here, as one would expect. Probably play our Eager First Year on turn 2. Yeah. Play our First Year. We probably just use Defiant Strike this turn. Well, yeah. What do we draw? Well, that makes things interesting, doesn't it? So, I think we play the Lorehold Pledge Mage. The next turn we can play the Quill and equip it. Yeah. They got that Pest Summoning, which will be, you know, a pest for us to deal with. Okay, so yeah, I think we go for it with the Quill. Get it out there. We probably want Inkling Summoning so we can fly over these pests. Then we'll equip the Quill to the Pledge Mage and attack with it. Yeah, these, the Witherbloom decks can be a problem when you're aggro sometimes, because of all the life they gain, but I feel like we're having a good enough start that I'm not super concerned at this point. Well, that doesn't help the cause very much, but... Okay. So, I guess Inkling Summoning plus Equip the Quill is pretty good. Yeah, so Inkling Summoning. We do it now so we can gain the additional life. I'm guessing they triple block here, but that's perfectly okay with us. Okay, interesting. So, thank you for the follow, Adoidoi. So I think we use Guiding Voice here. Grab a, you know, with the Quill, the bigger creature is probably a little better. Yeah, we'll get the Spirit Summoning. Yeah, then we'll equip the Quill. And end our turn. So if they go all in on this guy with the expanded anatomy, we just use Mage Hunter's Onslaught on it this turn and swing again. Hopefully they don't also have like a fight card, because that would be kind of bad. We could use Defiant Strike to make the fight matter, or go in our favor a little more, but yeah. Okay. Okay, so yeah, we go with the Onslaught here. Does it work? That's the question. Sort of. Sort of is the answer. So, the creature comes back, but it won't have those counters. And, you know, it can't block either anyway, so. So the Orator will be able to gain flying and whatnot, which is pretty good. Yeah. Okay, so what happens if I Defiant Strike here? It still dies, is what happens. So, see you later. Okay, so I think we go Orator Dueling Coach here. They're doing a pretty good job of not letting us beat them with Poet's Quill. The bad news for them is that we just keep getting to put it on things and gain even more life, and our creatures get better, and yada yada yada, so... Four, five. So we can equip it and use the ability here, which is pretty awesome. Oh, we don't actually need to use the ability, though, so I guess we won't. Yeah, I mean, making it a 5/5 doesn't make a difference. So, yeah, we'll just take the trade. Then we'll play Spirit Summoning. And equip the Quill. Yeah, we'll put it there. I'm worried they have, like, Belladros or something. That is the kind of thing that would turn the game really in their favor. I mean, like, already they're not really in terrible shape. I mean, our Quill is doing its job, but, you know, it's not a complete disaster for them either. We might use Defiant Strike at some point just to scry, or not scry, but... okay, so you're going to become... So I may as well Defiant Strike here. Oh, or maybe not. I get to draw the card. My math was clearly wrong there, but I would have held on to it if I knew that math. So we're going to pass the turn. We have enough of a lead in life that flooding out here isn't the biggest disaster ever. Well, we're working on it, though. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 11. So we have 11 of our 16 lands, so I think we're going to get out of this eventually. And we're at 31 life, so, you know. We're lucky they haven't drawn any way to continually pressure us, and now we have removal, which is great. No reason to use it yet. I think we let them... Because we can do it now, sure, but then they would just... We still lose the life. It doesn't make a difference. So... Alright, so... Let's take this hit, just in case they play something better, or try to use a trick or something. Alright, yeah, let's just Vanishing Burst it here, then. So they've basically evened up the life. Nice. So we play her. We use Guiding Voice. We get Pest Summoning. Learning. And we're going to equip the Quill to her. So if they kill her with the targeted spell, we get to draw a card, which is great. So we're in pretty good shape here. Yeah, so they do kill her. We get to draw a card, though. kind of a problem. Okay, so... Pass the turn. This thing does have reach, so moving it isn't actually that impactful, but, you know, it does do something, sort of. The opponent has 17 cards left and we have 15, so we're probably not going to be winning that way. So I think I'm going to put the Quill on the Star Pupil and attack with it here. Because then if they block, I can put the counter on the Poet. I also get to gain life in the process, so it's not a disaster. Yeah, and, you know, that's the alternative, that we just gain some life. Uh-oh. Yeah, we're running into some problems here. The Quill... Okay, well that's quite good here. Let's play our Inkcaster. I think I just put it on the Poet and attack. Yeah. Doesn't mean we have to draw something else relevant, but the Scurrid Colony is the only thing that can single block it and kill it, so I think we put the counter on the Poet here. And we rumble. No reason to give it flying. So, because it has reach. So we won't. Yeah, so this game may go long, but we're actually behind on cards. How did that happen exactly? Oh, Defiant Strike and the like. Oh, no. We better find removals quick, or I think we're losing this one before we get decked. Okay, well, that's not removal, but it does kind of do the thing that we're trying to do here. So I think we attack with Luminancer and Pupil. Yeah. That's a pretty good attack. Alright, they just take it. Then we move the Quill, I guess, to the Inkcaster. There's some more flavor for you. And we'll end our turn. Yeah, we need to kill Sedgemoor Witch or lose, more or less. That's what we're looking at. I probably will Alpha Strike here. Especially if that's it. Yeah, okay. Ooh, yeah, there we go. We need one of them to show up. Okay, so let's go to combat. Put this on the Pupil. Then we're gonna attack, attack, attack. I guess it's worth going in with the pests too. Yeah. Feels like Exhilarating Elocution could have been nice here, you know? Okay, so that's 3-5. I can add 4 more damage, but that's not really worth it, I don't think. Might be next turn. Okay, so that Sedgemoor Witch hasn't done anything yet, which has been good, I guess. But it's bound to do something eventually. I feel like it's inevitable. That's great. Okay, so I think we might just want to kill the Spectre. I think we do kill the Spectre here. And then we probably Alpha Strike. So, kill the Spectre. If what they want to do here is drain, then yeah, that's all they can do. So let's put the Quill on the ground on the Inkcaster, and let's attack with everything. And we'll Combat Professor will what makes the most sense here? I think the Pupil does probably. Yeah, attack with everybody. And then we have Beaming Defiance to wreck whatever might happen here. Like, if they try to use removal, this will do it. If they block in a certain way, it'll do it. Okay, so that means they take 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So, we should probably just go for it with Beaming Defiance here. Yeah, that should do it. We did it. They did a great job of really making the game go long, despite Poet's Quill just giving us all kinds of value. But eventually, Combat Professor saved the day, pretty much. As he tends to do. I feel like the Combat Professor's main job is to just know about the history of warfare, but yeah, I think it's the best white common. That's what I thought in my set review, and it's pretty much been confirmed. Alright, this is a good one. I mean, you know, we'd like a 4th land at some point, but other than that... other than that, it's pretty good. We do have both of our +1/+1 counter lovers. I feel like the 2/3 flyer that drains is pretty good, actually. I've had it be plenty good. So not having anything to play on this turn is kind of brutal, but given that I can play Combat Professor next turn, I probably shouldn't complain. And I needed to draw a land to be sure I could play the Professor, so... I don't think it's great, don't get me wrong. It's probably like a C, like a straight-up C. No, the Spectre is definitely not Black's best common. Black's best common is either the 1 in a black, make a pest and learn, or the Mage Hunter's whatever. You know, the card that kills a creature that we just played in that last game. they had to discard this one. Yeah, Mage Hunter's Onslaught. Those are the two that I think are the best. So yeah, we go with Combat Professor here. Just threatens more damage in the air and everything. Yeah, the Lash is good too. The Lash, I think, is up there. Twitch isn't a common. Otherwise, I'd be right there with you, I think. It's an uncommon. Alright, so we're going to threaten a ton of damage here. And we have a removal spell. So we're feeling pretty good here. If they have their own removal spell, we'd rather them play a creature than play a removal spell, basically. And that's what they do. And, yeah, so we're just gonna do that. I guess I should have given the Combat Professor Vigilance, just in case they have, like, the Tome Dog thing. So I think the Lash is good, but I do think that Hunt for Specimens and Mage Hunter's Onslaught are better than it. But it's close. The Lash is something you really need to keep our deck like ours in check if you're a slower deck. That's pretty gross. Okay. We can play the Pledge Mage, though, and give it first strike, so that's pretty sweet. Yeah, I think Lorehold Command's probably an A- or so, maybe just an A. I gave it a B+ in my start review, but it's been good. We had it a couple times, like in the first week of the format, which was fun. Haven't seen it since then, but you know. Okay, so which of you duelists is going to help me out here? I guess playing the Inkcaster makes plenty sense. So the fact they have Spectacle Mage in play worries me a bit, but you know. Yeah, so let's play Tenured Inkcaster here. I think we'll put the counter on the Pledge Mage, since it has first strike always. See what our opponent does. They could have removal, and they do. And that's kind of a bummer, because it also means our Thunderous Orator is no longer has first strike. So maybe I should have done that differently, because I still would have had a first strike creature that could attack here. I mean, I can still attack here, potentially. I don't know that that seems wise, but I can do it. Yeah. I don't think we want to do it here. Yeah, I mean, Lorehold Command is, you know, really turned the game around for them already, obviously. But the, Lightning Helix plus make a 3/2 is just... it's just good. So, okay, that helps us out a lot, actually. So I think we play Humiliate here. Go after something scary in their hand. I don't like either of those being in your hand. I guess Enthusiastic Study is worse. So we're going to put a counter. I think we'll put a counter here. Then we're going to play Dueling Coach. And we're going to put a counter here. Then we're going to attack with both of them. So they can double block and block, but I think that's okay. We kill the I think we want Kelpie Guy dead more than the Flyer. Yeah. Well, I think maybe I made another little mistake there. I think maybe just going with 1/4/4 would have been better. But so they're going to Academic Dispute here and kill our Dueling Coach, probably. Maybe they'll just attack us. Yeah. We're not in great shape right now. I could have also just sat on my board state and made them bigger. I think I just went too aggressive there. We're getting to the late part of this game, which is not good news for us. This deck can't really handle the late game. I think they go all in here on that removal spell. The bad news is I can't really use Defiant Strike now, effectively, because... Oh, it's a sorcery, so I can use it just to draw a card here. Oh. I guess I'd rather... No, they didn't... You may have it gain reach. Okay. So, we're going to Defiant Strike here to draw a card. We, of course, know they can kill, like, whatever we play. But we at least get to draw a card off of it. Oof. Okay. Don't think we're winning this one. So, I'm going to take 9 here. I think it gives us, sadly, our best chance. Okay. Yeah, we're dead. I mean, not entirely. I guess we could draw something when they use Intro to Annihilation. We need to go up to 5 here to not be dead to the Flyers, though, so... Oh, okay. So now we're dead to the Flyers. Yeah, I think I made some subpar decisions in that game. But yeah, I mean... Forcing us into the late game. The Lorehold command just really got us there. There wasn't much that could be done about it. Ouch. Mulligan it is. Alright, this one's okay. We do obviously desperately need to find white mana. Seems like it may be hard to set up the Luminancer in this hand, although it's not like Defiant Strike is great either, but yeah. I guess we bottom that and keep the real cards. The Luminancer does need some friends to be a real card, but it's not that hard to get them. You know, like that. Well. The only good news is that our opponent hasn't played a permanent yet, but us having them being at 20 life this late and us not being able to do anything probably means they're gonna win. It would be real hard for us to find a way to put things in our favor now. Not impossible though. Okay, so I think I probably just play the Inkcaster here and hope that works out for us. Puts a counter on itself. Sure, it's dead. Yeah. Yeah, it's gonna be hard here to keep up with them. Ooh. We saw Cody earlier today. I think we're gonna see it again. Well, They don't have anything to eliminate. That's kind of funny. It's a good problem to have, though, probably, when you get a free eliminate and you can't play it. It's like, okay. I can live with that. Oh my god. Do I Guiding Voice Cody here just so I can get a lesson? It's not the worst plan I've ever had. And I'm pretty sure we're losing anyway, so it's kind of funny. So Inkling Summoning actually kind of pressures them. Good chance they can kill it, but it does mean we can pressure them some if they can't, you know. It'd be funny for Cody to attack here. Cody is going to attack here. How about that? We're just going to take 6. Hey, look at that. More white mana. I kind of think I Guiding Voice my creature and get Pest Summoning and then leave up Beaming Defiance. Yeah. Yeah, we'll get Pest Summoning. Do I actually attack? Kind of think I do. I mean, if we're gonna have any shot here, I kind of think we do. Okay. Well, now it's not an option, so I could Beaming Defiance, but that's I guess maybe Beaming Defiance is more useful here aggressively because it's not like it's going to make one of my creatures better. It does save one from removal, but they're going to learn, so I think we probably just let it happen. Spell, huh? We can use it to save our creature, and I think that's what we're going to do here. And we're going to block. So, I think we play Mila here because Guiding Voice isn't going to... We're not going to be able to play our this, because it costs double white, so... Yeah, we'll just play Mila here. Can't really attack this time. We're making them work for it a little bit, at least. Alright, so... I'm going to block there with Mila, and block here, and then take the 4. Okay, I guess we kill Cody here. It's hard to win if they keep double spelling. I realize we're still looking down 2 large creatures, but we can at least make our Inkling big enough to trade with one of them. So, of course, they could also have permanents trapped in their hand. Is the funny thing that could be the case here. But I think we have to risk it. Uh-oh. You have kill spell? You do. You do get to draw a card, at least. And gain some life. So I don't hate that. Yeah, so we kind of have to block with Mila here. Sort of. I don't know that I'm going to. I think we're going to go to 1 and hope they can't kill us. That's sadly our best bet here. Oh, good. Yeah, they got us. Alright, so, you know, we started our first 2 drafts of the day 1-0 and then ended 1-3. This time we started 3-0, and we're trying to go 3-3. We've had some bad starts. That's for sure. That was one of them. Yeah, we've been brutalized by Cody twice today. So, and both times we had like pretty abysmal starts. So Cody really just sort of took over. Oh boy. I think with the opponent going first, we can keep this, but God, do we need to draw a land. We did it. So if we draw like this is the kind of hand that could just turn into a crazy win if we get the right stuff. Okay. And we're pretty close to getting the right stuff. Yeah, so let's play Luminancer. Then I'm gonna play Guiding Voice. It would be kinda nice to wait till next turn, because they'll both get buffed, but I think it's probably worth just doing it now. And we grab Inkling Summoning. Bash for 3, and then next turn we Inkling Summoning and they get pumped. Yeah. So we go Inkling Summoning. We attack with the 3/4. Well, we have a bunch of good stuff, but I think they're probably taking the Onslaught. If I had to guess, that's probably where they're going to go. Oh, a Combat Professor. Fascinating. Ah, that's why. That makes some sense. Yeah, I mean, we kill the 3/4 and attack with everything here. It does draw them a card, but we're hoping they're dead before that matters. Okay, so we're gonna Guiding Voice here. Which of these do we want more? I think Spirit Summoning actually seems a little better here. Just getting another sizable creature seems good. Just attack with everything. So that Orator is going to get big, but it's still only one creature, you know? So... Okay, well, that'll do it. Must have a kill spell. Yeah, that does it. Alright. We're at least getting to a winning record with this one. Thank you for the sub, Lazy. Well, boy. We have all these cards that want us to have creatures, but we have no creatures. I do think we still keep it. At least we can disrupt them with Humiliate, but it is not an ideal opener. I think there's a good chance we draw a creature, because we have a lot of them. We do. It's a little bit slow of one. I think we'll still Humiliate them, even without the extra value, though. Shock. Oh, boy. I'm not liking the looks of this. I'm sort of leaning towards Shock, but Professor of Symbology's pretty darn good. I think we're going to go for the Professor. Making it so they don't have a 2-drop and a 2-drop that gets them a 3-drop, most likely, I think was a good idea. So... I think I'm going to wait a turn on playing our Fanatic because we know they have Shock. And I can use Beaming Defiance to save our creature. Yeah. Although, my Dueling Coach will just get to do its thing. We're going to have to get it out of their hands somehow. Yeah, let's play the Fanatic. Get it shocked. So we did not have a fast start. So this will be interesting. Their hand definitely doesn't seem completely overpowering, and I think that's good news for us. So let's attack with our Dueling Coach here. I considered using Guiding Voice here, but because it's going to give us so much value on our Luminancer in the near future, I decided not to. Okay, so we're going to be able to kill this in combat here. I think that's basically the plan, yeah. So we go past the blockers, control. Get out of here. So they can now use Pigment Storm to kill a thing, which is less than ideal, but yeah. So we're going to put the counter on the Luminancer just so we spread the love a little bit here. They have a flyer, so I guess Spirit Summoning's probably a little better since it's bigger. Yeah, so then we play Spirit Summoning. Attack for 8. Hi, Von Ham. Let's bluff with the card in our hand. Something's eating a Pigment Storm here, I think. Could be wrong, though. Wow, Von Ham, thanks for all those gift subs. I really appreciate it. Nice. Okay, so we go Inkcaster. Put the counter on this. So even though we had a slow start, we're at least threatening. You know, we're trying to take them down here. The problem with them playing that is they can get their Professor of Symbology back, which is not going to be good news. Spell. Oh, that'll work. That will work. Okay, so play Combat Professor here. I think we go with the Inkcaster. But maybe not. No. Yeah? And then we just attack with all three? Maybe it's better to do this. And attack with both, drain them down to 2. Although I can just attack with her and drain them too. I think that's probably a little better. They'll kill her, but they have to do some blocking here. So, you know, they have a good block if they want it. Alright, so they go down to 1. Was Luminancer lethal there? Hopefully that doesn't come back to bite us, huh? I did not realize that, obviously. Do they have something to save them? Well, they rummaged, so I'm gonna go with no. Alright. Alright, so we at least have one draft that ends up completely in the green today after the first two, which didn't go so well. And we can still do even better. I'm a little surprised we won that one because we had such a slow start, but we were able to do a ton of damage at once. Those Luminancers, pretty nasty. Oof. So we get a Plains. This is a great hand. If we don't get a Plains, it's pretty terrible. So I think we're going to mulligan. This is much better. I think we're going to send the Pledge Mage back. The only reason I think that's worth doing is... If it were... I mean, we know we can play first year early. And Combat Professor is going to be more impactful late. I do think this is a better card than Eager First Year, but given the way our hand's kind of looking, I think that's where we wanted to go. Nope, we don't have any new Foster Furies. We still have the 2 mice we've had for a long time. Nobody wants to adopt them, sadly for them. Well, it's not that sad. They have a pretty good life. But, you know. So, Arrogant Poet, or Eager First Year, or Leech Fanatic. Those are good questions. Well, no matter which one we play, it's probably going to be able to attack because of Guiding Voice. But maybe we start going after their life with an evasive creature. Yeah. What we really want to do next turn is draw a Plains so that we can, or a Swamp, so that we can Guiding Voice and play a 2-drop. Kind of what we're hoping for. And we still have our hamster who we actually adopted, but he started as a foster. But that's all we have right now. We have a cat and dog too, but they were never fosters. So a Swamp or a Plains would be a really good draw here. If we don't get either, we're not in terrible shape either. We just play a 2-drop and attack in the air. You know, unless they have a shock or something here. Yeah, I'll try to put up some more pictures of the animals. I do it occasionally. If you follow me on Twitter, I do it a little more there than I do it on YouTube. Oh, yeah, we drew a land. That's what we wanted. I wonder if it's just better to Guiding Voice the Leech Fanatic because it'll be able to attack through this 1/3, and we know our opponent just missed a land drop. I think that might actually be better. I think it is. So we'll attack here. We will pay 2. And we're going to play Leech Fanatic and Guiding Voice. We'll grab an Inkling Summoning. So 4th land would be really good here to play our Combat Professor. But we're in pretty good shape overall, even if we don't draw a 4th land. Our opponent, if they didn't hit a land, is kind of in the territory where they need to loot, which sucks for them. Okay, well they did get a creature at least. That does help their cause. Okay. So I would normally play the Combat Professor first, but I think getting them to double block and then wrecking both creatures with Vanishing Verse is probably a little better. And I can still play Eager First Year, so yeah, I think that's the route we take here. So yeah, we're gonna pay 2 life. And so if they double block here, we kill the Soothsayer. Yeah, so this is going to be pretty brutal. And then we go Vanishing Verse, Soothsayer. Play our Eager First Year. Alright, so I think we go with Combat Professor here. Since they just hovered over my Leech Fanatic, I might put the boost on a different creature than the Leech Fanatic. Because I think they're going to kill something here. If I target it. They're killing something. They're not sure what, but it does sure look like they're going to kill something. Okay. Yeah, that'll slow my roll. That's for sure. Interesting. I think humiliating here is a pretty good idea. It gives us a little extra insurance. Same time, adding to the board is quite good. Yeah, let's just play Dueling Coach. Make this a 3/3. Attack with both. So they go to 6 here. Could they have a sweeper? Doesn't look that way. Okay, so we're going to go with Humiliate here. Because that should give us lethal. Everything will have 3 power. So Humiliate also gives us a little insurance. You know, in case they have something like Lightning Bolt or... Did they already play one Lightning Bolt? I think they did. Oh boy. Okay, so... Oh, he gets exiled, right? No, it's just discarded. So I think that probably means we would go after Pigment Storm. We know they can't stop us here, so that should be game. All right. Go up to 6-2 with this deck. That means we have 1 game left. 1 game. One way or another, we're either going to be 7-2 or 6-3. Yep. When you get to the last round and you only have 1 shot at it, it does feel very final bossy. Yeah, definitely a mulligan. I mean, you know, if we draw planes, it's great, but you know, I think that's too specific of a thing to draw. You know, if I just needed a land and not a planes, it would be keepable. Okay, well, that really works out for us, I think. Probably throwing away Defiant Strike. It's just not going to be very impactful. It just isn't. Doesn't tend to be. But we do gotta have our Poet's Quill, which gives us a nice shot here. Okay, the Orator is pretty good. I'd probably go Poet. There's their Poet. Man, why you gotta show up on turn 2 like that? So if I play the Poet first, the Orator will start gaining flying soon. I mean, it'll happen either way we do it, really. Yeah, so I think we play the Poet here. So I think next turn we probably Luminancer and Orator, and then start setting up, you know, big turns with our Quill and our Guiding Voice and stuff. I think that's our plan overall. Yeah, so that's definitely what we do here. So let's attack and give it flying. And then we go Luminancer, Orator. So if we don't draw a land, we can still double spell this turn with Vanishing Verse and Guiding Voice. If we do draw a land, it may just be better to play the Quill, since we're going to have 2 flyers. And if we put Lifelink on the Poet, the Orator will gain it too, which is pretty great. So we just take this. Yeah, that's not so good. It's big, and I can deal with it my Vanishing Verse, but they've already gotten value out of it, which is not fun. So I think even though we drew the land here, we're going to go for the double spell plan to get rid of that 5/4. Yeah. Yeah, that's the plan here. So let's use Guiding Voice here. Guess we'll put it on the Evasive Creature. I mean, these are both going to be evasive, but this is evasive on its own. So... yeah, more flyers seems good. Then we're going to Vanishing Verse the Professor here. And attack with everything. So that's 9 damage. So we're probably going to be wanting to use the Quill to gain us some life in this race. Let's hope they don't have the black-green sweeper that would just kill everything on our board. Destroy all non-land permanents 2 or less. It would kill both their creatures too, but they would get 5 mana back after doing it and then be able to play something. It would destroy us here. I've yet to run into it yet with one of these aggro decks, but I'm sure it'll happen to me eventually. I'm sure it'll go that way at some point. They don't have a ton of time, so that environmental sciences isn't too scary, but, you know, it will get them back up to 10. Their Arch can get them up to 11, so... And who knows what land they're going to get or what they're splashing for. It could be something very scary. Or maybe they're just going to make their mana a little better. So they played another thing that can gain them life, which, you know, makes sense. That's aggressive, huh? Of course, they don't know we have Poet's Quill, so that makes it all the more aggressive. Yeah, so we're gonna go for it with the Quill here. We're gonna grab, I think Pest Summoning looks pretty good in this sort of race. Oh, I couldn't equip it too. I knew that. Alright, so we're gonna rumble with both of these, but yeah, that may have been... I forgot that it cost black. So playing Dueling Coach was probably a little better, but we're still gonna go to the races here. I'm gonna go to 8. And they're gonna go to 5. Yeah. If I'd been paying attention to the Quill situation, I would have played the Dueling Coach for sure. But now, you know, we're still in okay shape. But I do think that was the incorrect play. I think our Luminancer might be chumping something. Just because it's not going to get very large anytime soon. So our opponent can hit us for potentially 5 in the air here. And if they have a little something extra, that could be enough to finish us off. Yeah, it's not good. Nor is that. So are we in blocking territory here on this Pledge Mage? I kind of think we are. That'll take them up to 9. Yeah, we're gonna block it. I guess if I draw land, play Inkling Summoning and Poet's Quill, this will be a 3/3 Flying Vigilance. I mean, that is an if, but the alternative is just that we equip the Quill and gain some of this life back. So I think... Nah, we can't be letting them gain life, so we're going to go ahead and just block. We did draw a land. Alright, so... I think we go Poet's Quill, Inkling Summoning. So that takes us back up to 9. I have a feeling they're probably going to use Intro to Annihilation on our Quill at some point or another. The good news is we'll have ultimately gotten a 2-for-1 out of the deal if that's what they do, because we learned and we'll get to draw a card. Although, I suppose they learned to get their card, so it's not really that much of a thing. Alright, so we're going to drop to 6 here. Uh-oh. Okay. Not good. Yeah, and I mean, we can't even play Pest Summoning, so I think we'll play the Dueling Coach here. Yeah, we'll play Dueling Coach here. Next turn we can play Fester. Obviously they can fly over or just kill our Dueling Coach, but we would get to draw a card if that's what they do. Are they going to learn? No. They decided not to learn. Yeah, it's starting to look like a challenge here. Ooh, that almost kills us single-handedly. No, you still can get lessons out of your sideboard in quick draft. Okay. I see what they're going for here. Oh boy. That is a pretty good draw, I'd say. So we go Combat Professor and then Humiliate that out of their hand. That gives us a flyer that can block Arrogant Poet and gets rid of the card that was going to make their Poet bigger in the first place. So that is a big play. They do still have the Arch, which can learn and may be able to get them something that's a problem. No, they went with the life gain. I wonder... Well, they can learn and gain the life, so... Yeah. Doesn't preclude them from doing it. What do they have? So if what they have is a removal spell, it's not. And that's good news, I think, that it's not a removal spell. Because our Flying Vigilance creature is going to do a good job of getting us back in this game with Poet's Quill. Plus we'll have Poets, or Pest Summoning on the ground. So this game may take another turn in our favor here. Okay. Look out. Build your own Bane Slayer Angel? We can't also play Pest Summoning, but I think that's okay. Pest Summoning to hold down the ground and Combat Professor finishing them in the sky looks pretty likely, though. Did they draw something to kill our combat professor? It's kind of what it comes down to, I think. Trying to decide if it's worth blocking here or not. I probably should. Okay, so we go to combat. Do I actually give the pest vigilance here? That seems pretty good. Alright, so... You know what they could have is the thing that doubles their creature's power. Like, if they have that to kill us, we're gonna be real sad. We lost to that once early in the format, and if we lose to it here, it's gonna be sad. Nope, we got there. Right, Silver Quill aggro. I think I have 3 7-win Silver Quill aggro decks now. You know, it's been a pretty good archetype, and I'm glad, you know, we had 2 1-3s to start out the day, but we're finishing things up with a 7 and 2, which obviously drastically improves our overall record of the day. To 9, what's funny is that all it does for us is get us to 9 and 8. So we barely finished in the green on the day, despite a 7 and 2, because our first 2 drafts were so bad.